Hot tonight. It's really, really hot tonight. Good night, everyone. Good night. It's hot tonight. Kinda. A little more than usual. Everybody all right? Good night. Good night, good night, good night, good night, all, yeah? Let me see who's hearing me. Hey, Marco, Katie Ann, Sister Yvette, good night, you all. We have a pretty long lineup tonight, and I don't want to bore you all, but there are just a few things that I want to, talk about tonight, and look at this. But we can start by saying that Minister Favour Williams went to the Parliament 2 weeks ago, and she licked down Mark Golding unconscious, left him totally unconscious in the Parliament, and then Mr. Holness went last week, Thursday, and basically killed him, left him for dead, put him in a casket, and left him there. And then we thought that was the last of him. And then Minister Favour came again today and performed the last rites over the body of Mark Jefferson Golding. And it was a beauty to behold. I'm going to talk more about that later. Oh, plenty more about that later. So let's start in the usual way that we decide to start now. Give a big shout out to some people who are looking forward for their shout out. Last Saturday, let's start with last Saturday. Last Saturday I was blessed with the company of 3 viewers, subscribers, fans. I still remember the names: Rosie, Janet, and Gloria, and they came to visit Jewsland, and we had cornbread and coconut water. And we had a good time, and they came out to the ice cream shop. They had ice cream. I introduced them to the lady who's in charge of Mr. Holness's operation in the Jewsland area, Mrs. Fraser, Sadie. Everybody knows Sadie. She lived right in front, across the road from the shop. So I introduced Rosie and Janet and Gloria to her as well. And Rosie and Janet and Gloria and Janet's brother, who they called from Canada while they were here. So I want to give you all a big shout out tonight. I want to say how great it was to have you. It was a pleasure to have you in Jewsland. We should ask them about what in Jewsland, let them come from Jewsland. I mean, they quickly acclimatized and behaving like them, living in the place, and them can come in anytime they want now. So I want to give a shout out to those 3 wonderful ladies, and thank you all for visiting. It was an absolute pleasure to have you. I want to give a shout out also to Derek from Moby. Now, Derek, I have not met yet, but we speak so often by phone, and he's so enthusiastic about our mission that you would think that we have already met, but we haven't. But Derek, you cut off your left hand. I don't know what the hell you're doing with all that roofing. So listen to me, man. You need to take care of that hand, because Mrs. Malahoo Fort is going to need you and your expertise and your connections in the constituency. And so you need to take care of that. I want to big up Miss Leody from Pembroke Hall, whom I met in the supermarket, of course. Hello, Miss Lodi. Thank you so much for watching. You say you share with your grandchildren abroad. Thank you so much for that. Such a pleasure meeting you in the supermarket. The discussion was very, very, very nice. Thank you for the kind words and the blessings that you heap upon us, and the hello that you sent to Natalie and Michelle and Mr. Vegas. You said I should say hello to Mr. Vegas on your behalf. So Miss Leone said to say hello to Natalie and Michelle and Liz and Mr. Vegas. Lovely senior citizen who wouldn't let me go in the supermarket at all. I want to big up also a shout out to the workers at Woolworth down by the boulevard. All the workers inside Woolworth that watch the program. Thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to the boss, to the boss manager, my friend. Big up yourself also. The Marvelly people, them are quarreling with that my banner Marvelly. I'm gonna big up Marvelly. And I don't know what all of that jealousy is all about, but yeah, my banner Marvelly. And I must big up Marvelly, true. Alright, so let me send out a big shout out to Marvelly. There's a little discomforting things taking place down there, but I want everybody to stay safe until everything calm down. These things usually calm down after a little while. So I big up the Marvelly crew. That's where I was born, Oakwood Avenue, and Tapanaris Marvelly crew. Big you all up. Now, yesterday morning, there was a shooting out by the boulevard. And I don't know if man knows a man a look for you come out in an early morning in a traffic. Drive in that traffic. I don't know. You know some man a look for you. Why the hell would you be out in traffic? You have to drive, you have to make sure you move, stop at a stoplight. But anyway, a shooting took place out there. That pretty much, I understand that a man got 7 shots, and the whole community they don't can't help themselves. Me not going out there so. I mean I like them kind of gruesome things. Me can't look at them things there. And a lady whose vehicle was also beside the gentleman that got shot, she also got shot. As of last night, we heard that they were still, the man was battling for life and that the lady was stabilized, and we pray that they will both come through, and we pray to God that they will come through. Now, in the middle of all of that happening yesterday morning in the community, the people coming from Portmore and Spanish Town and Ocho Rios and all over the place where people live in that direction and come to work in this direction, the police cordon off the whole of the boulevard, the whole 4 intersection of the boulevard. So nobody could get to go over into Malines Road because all of this cordon off, and the police was diverting traffic. I don't know what they were doing out there, but I just know that the people who were coming up the boulevard had to turn off into Headley Avenue because nobody was going the way that that anybody could go through Marvelly. And do I understand that some people turned off and went into Marvelly also as well. So Headley Avenue became traffic like dirt. I was out there, but I was getting the reports. So they were coming through. And some people in Jerusalem, the man them down at the bottom, maybe some woman too. I don't get all the names them yet, but I have some of the names. And I know someone who watching, so I want to hear me good tonight. Only the people them down at the bottom at Headley Avenue there, so who charge the people their money to come through Headley Avenue. Disgraceful behavior. Make a community look poor and pauperized. Make it look like ningrins. Make it look like we're some kind of parasite. Instead of you just directing the traffic and make room, and who have 4 cars pushing them cars so that people can get to go to work and children can get to go to school and down Headley Avenue and charge people money. I have the whole of the name. Well, somehow no. I know that someone will come and see me after watch this tonight, and someone will hide. But I'm going to say all I know, because I try to tell you that you must take pride in the community, and those things degrade the community, that you charge people money to drive through after the boulevard block off because of that shooting. And it's a disgrace, and you should be damn shame on yourself. Thank God that Sadie call the senior suit down during the park, and him quickly send up a team of people, a team of police to come manage the traffic flow there. So, but I can't get over the fact that people in Jerusalem who not suffer, the man them down the road, I charge man them money, I charge people money to drive through Edley Avenue. Sometimes God works in mysterious ways. I look at things I never out there, because probably there would be some kind of confrontation between me and them, because them things are unacceptable. You can't do them things there. People need to go work and you stick them up. You stick them up for $100 and a $200. That's all right. And especially the one you will watch, because I know you are watch and you know who me attack. I'm not too disgusting. And I'm glad to say this and call the police to come running in and police. We shouldn't need the police to do that in our community. We shouldn't need the police to do that. As citizens, we should just gather and just say, all right, we could help people maneuver the traffic and let them through and move the whole car them out of the way or something, and make people get to go to work and kids get to go to school. But instead they don't get charge people money like on a scavengers. On a disgrace to the community. Very much a disgrace to the community. And we should be damn ashamed on themselves. Now the thing about that shooting yesterday is that when I don't know, but it appears that whenever there's a shooting on the boulevard, after that there seems to be a whole heap of shooting after that in the corporate area. I kid you not. It's like that's where it usually starts, right? On the boulevard, there's somebody just gets shoot up, and then from morning it's pure siren and police and move up and down all over the corporate area. There are things going on. I get that there is something going on down Maxwell Avenue earlier as well. I mean, this is not. Good night, everyone. Good night. I hear you all. I hear you. This is just not good. And I hope that the police have a handle on it. Oh, the one person I sent out to the boulevard to kind of just observe things from me and tell me how the police them handle things. But more than one person say that the police handle things very well. And our police are becoming good investigators. I mean, tell me that the police them is not only taking up pictures, them lie down on them belly, them have things that look for remnants, tire marks, pictures. I mean, our police have become good, and let us congratulate them and keep them on that same track. Let us not attack them like Mark Golden. Let us not attack our police force. Let us not attack them. Let us help them. Let us commend them when they do good. And so they did a wonderful thing out by the boulevard, I understand. So I want to commend them on that. I want to also appeal to the people in the corporate area, man all over the place. Man, on the chill, man, is one tuna, man. Chano. We don't need to disrupt the place, them way, man. Kind of throw off everything and make everybody miserable and unhappy, and including for the families. So find a way to deal with it. All right. Don't create too much discomfort in doing all of that. Okay? Yeah, I got it. My hair is, yeah, I know. There's another matter that has sprung up in the news media again, and I am frustrated by it, because I can't understand why it is still such a big matter. The matter of the St. James High School down in St. James in Montego Bay there. The criminal principal that has been running that school. I mean, he started out as a principal who turned around the school and made things good, and then that gave him a perch on which to build a criminal organization, which him running down there in the school. The board can't control him. Him and the board chairman at loggerheads. And when Minister Favour was the Minister of Education, she never handled the matter either. And it appears to me, so now the matter is back in the spotlight. It started out with him expelling children, then him have the school and the manners, him control everything, and of course him also have a bad man faction that him control. And the only conclusion I can come to about this principal man is that some people in the ministry must have secret for no. It must have secret for the people in the ministry, particularly those that are in the region, in the Montego Bay, the region that covers St. James. It must have some secret for all, but people who can't seem to manage this man while disrupting the school and causing our children to be under so much stress. Our picking them under enough stress already. And the school now has gone to a stage where the picking them can't seem to settle down. A year plus now, this has go on. Minister Favor left it undealt with. And now Minister Dana Morris Dixon, I think. Now she not dealing with it either. About this principle, I don't remember his name. Can somebody have his name? I know somebody on here can tell me. What is it about this principal man, Williams, out of St. James? Why no minister can't seem to deal with it? Why the ministry and its organization and its internal structures and the law and the legal part of it, why we can't get rid of this man out of the St. James High School and allow our children to learn in peace and tranquility? What is it? This man is causing pure eruption in the school and nobody seems to be able to get rid of him. What is it? After so many evidence was presented against him, he might dig up the school from mall, he might trust him buy material with school money and carry guy in yard, all kind of things where he do. And because he was the one who turned the school around academically, nobody wants to remove him. And our children must suffer for that. The children of St. James High School must now suffer because this man have secret for somehow now. Because the only place I can go with this in terms of him being able to hold on to his position and cause so much rupture in the school on a daily basis is that the people in the regional office of the Ministry of Education, he must have secret for them. There must be a part of his own criminal organization where him run money upon them and run things upon them and whatever it is. Yeah, if people have information, you can WhatsApp me. I will look at it. And him running this whole criminal organization, and nobody seem to be able to control him. So now there's more disruptions. Him lock up school, him bring down police. This man was even arrested by the police at one point. Minister Dana Morris Dixon, Minister of Education Dana Morris Dixon, you must know about this because you have been in the ministry before you were the Minister of Education. You must know. It's not Minister Favor's problem anymore because she left it and God, she never deal with it. It is untenable. You can't have constant disruption of a school day with a teacher who say is a star because him turn around the school and him use that platform of turning around the school to build a criminal operation. And now him have a stronghold in there and nobody seems to be able to move him. And once again I'm saying that if the regional office of the Ministry of Education can't seem to manage it, then somehow, some way, him have some secret. For the whole of them or some of them are those who empower, those who have the influence, are under his influence because they must have been the beneficiary of some criminal activities. And this I get out of hand. So I'm calling on not only the minister but the prime minister as well. The school cannot be continued into disruption day in, day out because nobody wants to deal with this man. One man, one single man, fire him, fire the board if necessary, and get the school up. Let the children get to settle down. Picnic have PEP, picnic have CXC. What's the matter with UNU? What is wrong? Like UNU protect him. It has been going on for a while now. UNU protecting this man. Why? Why him have? What kind of secret about UNU? Minister Dana Morris, this is going to get out of hand, you know. And I'll have to come out here pretty much every day, come talk about it if needs be. So both you, Minister Dana Morris, and the Prime Minister must take this on. We can't continue like this, believing that there is, you know, nothing we can do or nothing we should do. That is not acceptable. That's absolutely not acceptable. So we need to deal with it. That's all I'm saying, because we can't continue like this, where school is constantly being disrupted because we're afraid to deal with one little man. Huh? That is not acceptable. We need to deal with it. And that is not something that we can leave undealt with, because it's affecting the learning abilities of our children. It's affecting our children at school. It's affecting every damn thing, man. How the people to learn if we don't have this man at school causing all kind of eruption and all kind of corruption and all kind of things going on? Why? We can't do that, man. So we need to get something done and deal with it. All right? So, I'm going to stay on that issue for quite a while. Quite a while I'm going to be on that issue. I am not going to let it go at all with all that we're going on with over there. So, let's move on. The water contamination issue. I don't know if Ian knows something, but we don't know. And the reason why I am bringing up the water contamination issue is because Ian was out there saying that the water system is contaminated, and him also saying that I think some of the people I'm talking about, there is some kind of they call it report, and that report must be made public, and all the rest of it. So if there is a report to say that there is contamination of water, or if there's a report to say that we have a water issue, then the Water Commission must put out that report. But personally, I don't believe there's any report, and personally, I don't believe there is any contamination of our water system. Contamination of our water system is not an ordinary thing that people can just get up and say, the water contaminated, so I could do this, so I could do that. That is not how that works. The contamination of the water system is something that you would see in your pipe. Because sometimes when you're fixing a pipe, some mud get into it, some stones, some dirt get into it, and all of it. But sometimes people are fix a pipe. So if somebody fix a pipe, or if somebody fixing a system and some water get contaminated, then fine. But you cannot, for the life of me, get up and talk about there's water contamination when there's no evidence that there's water contamination. There's no water contamination in my water. None at all. There's no water contamination in my water. There is nobody that I spoke to that's saying that the water is contaminated. So I don't know where all that contamination thing is going. And if there is no contamination in the water, then people should not be walking around and talking that foolishness. Because I'm asking questions of people. I call. Check your water, turn on your pipe, tell me, does it look funny? You over there, so check your water, tell me, does it look funny? And nobody can tell me that the water look funny. The water still look clean, and the water still look clear. So I don't know what all of that is about. So, Ian, if you want something to talk about the water, start talking about where you're going to different and stuff like that. But don't come talk about water contamination. And you know damn well that there is no water contamination. Don't do that. Because you want to frighten people and make people run up and down and go on with all kind of things and all the rest of it. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Stop it. There's no water contamination. But if there was an investigation about some contamination of water, then the Water Commission must make that report available to the public as to whether there is any of that or not. So there we have it on that. You know, so there. No. Kelly, you calling me, yeah? What's happening, baby?
Here.
What is that? Oh, just hold on to that, baby. Okay. So now we're going into other matters. Let's go into some other matters. Everybody know that it's Mark Golding and Dayton Campbell and Peter Bunting and Angela Blomberg, and it's those people we're at war with. So all I want to know Janet Dunbar, that whoring girl down there, Trelawney, shout her up there for me. Because me and her go have a little talk now. And she not will like it, the talk we have now, she not will like it. And let me tell you, when I say that, people can post anything they want on them Facebook page because it's your Facebook page. So people can post anything they want, and that's a long and short of it. Now last Thursday, while the Prime Minister was on, a number of us was on Facebook busting up liberty for Mark Golding, because the Prime Minister was busting up liberty for Mark Golding, and we're having a good time about it. So Vinette Amoy Wilson made a post on her Facebook page, as well as I did. We both did. We were making lots of posts on our Facebook page, and we were discussing and talking about the Prime Minister and what the Prime Minister was doing to Mark Golding. We're busting up liberty for Mark Golding, and that's what I do. Now, Vinette made a post, and let me find the post that Vinette made. Let me do it right. Let me do it right. Vinette made a post, and in the post, Vinette talked about Master Mark, and that was Thursday, last week, last Thursday. Lord Vinette, I hope I could find the post. Maybe you can find it and come give me or something. But let me go into, because I saved some things. But let me give you the snap of what happened with the post. So Vinette posted some things, I posted some things, we all posted things, and we're about to liberty for Mark Golding. In a Vinette post, I went on and I said, Mark Golding, I said some things about Mark Golding. Don't remember what is it I said. Let me go back and see if we can find what I said. I don't remember what is it I said about him. But I said something about Mark Golding. Now, this is not my Facebook page I was on. This is Vinette Amoy Wilson Facebook page. And this is why Janet Dunbar has earned herself a little spot on this live tonight. Because I'm going to settle our business for her. Because nobody no trouble her. And when them behave like this, these risers, and she was, and nobody don't know if she, some people tell me that she had labor right. Because she did work for labor right in the 2020 elections, and she'd have on her green shirt, and she helped sabotage Victor Wright, she and Annette Parchment and the rest of them. So, and Victor Wright never wanted her, so she decided she's going to sabotage him. Because Victor Wright said not sleep with her, and she wanted Victor Wright to sleep with her. The whole of them was on the same page about who Victor Wright now sleep with, and who he must sleep with, and then Bex about that, so them decided to sabotage him. So I posted something on Vinette's page, and she come on the page, and she said, cause she delete them. That's at this moment I'm going to carry down, you know. She delete everything that she posted after she posted. No, don't tell me not to pay her no mind. I'm going to carry down. You can't make them people, them are disease infested people. You can't make them get, them people are chink. Them people are part of the gonorrhea that had infiltrated the PMP that is now Rise United. All of them suffer from gonorrhea and all kind of other diseases. Alright? So she come on the page and she said, Karen Cross, Lego Mark shot. You have to call the man name in a dirty argument. And I responded. I responded the way I normally do. I don't cuss out people and call them nasty words on social media, even when they do that to me. Even when people come on my YouTube channel and call me dirty girl and this, I don't cuss them back them way. I do not. Because me up here so, and them down there so, and me now go down there so, they have to come up here so. So me now answer them way because me way above them. So so when she said that, I responded. I said, Janet Dunbar, I don't understand you. His, Mark, is the only name we have been calling for 4 years, along with the pedophile and the witch. I don't call yours unless you trouble me. And then I ask a question. Are you troubling me now? That's my answer. Fear first thing, and my answer to her. Let me repeat. Karen Cross, Lego Mark shot. You have to call the man name in on the dirty argument. Me, Janet Dunbar, I don't understand you. He is the only name we have been calling for 4 years along with the pedophile and the witch. I don't call yours unless you trouble me. Are you troubling me now? My dears, this woman with 6 belly and 4 chin decided that she's going to answer me in a different way.
This is the most...
And she answered me by telling me, by posting a very long response in patois, because them people that can't write long thing in English. Them people that don't know how to write not long in English. They maybe can say I don't and we will and I would. But them can't write nothing. Them not have the brain power to write something in English. So she wrote this everlasting thing in patois. And the thing that she wrote in patois, she basically threatened my life. So don't tell me not to talk about it. Not talk about it because she threatened my life. So here she was telling me about this thing where she write and sending it and put out. And she deleted it afterwards. She deleted it. But she deleted it because I tell her, I said, I know she's going to delete it. So I'm going to screenshot it before she delete it. So after I send her about that answer, she makes sure she delete it. But I did screenshot it. So, one heap of nastiness and things. And yes, I can live with the nastiness. Me not really follow that up. But she wrote, me not afraid of you because me never collect nobody money for sell visa. And me not thief. And you don't have no secret for me. So me can talk all me want, argument. Done. You can't jump in on me collar because me have who to send come warn you. Now, all the other part them mean nothing to me. You don't have no secret for me. Don't be too sure about that, Miss Janet Dunbar. Don't be too sure about that because anything 2 people know no secret. You can't jump on my collar because me have who to send come warn you. Me have who to send come warn you. Me say if you leave the man alone and that me say you want to come beat me. Beat me, then you will see what happen. A Penn Avenue, Kingston, 11, me grow down a Waterhouse. Now, listen to me. This is going to be brutal, you know, Janet. So I hope you're sitting down because I'm going to give it to you tonight. It's going to be brutal. Penn Avenue, me born down a Kingston 11, me grew up down a Waterhouse off Bay Farm Road. Now, if you have to outline it in all of that, it means you don't know nothing about Penn Avenue. You don't have a clue. If you have to say a Penn Avenue, Kingston 11, me grow down a Waterhouse off Bay Farm Road, it means you don't know what you're talking about. It means you just pick some place and decide to say you say all of that. But I'm soon get to you on that. So come run up on me and you will see. Yeah, they go on like you want. I saw them people talking on. Them right like how them talk. You they go on like you want people for afraid of you. But me not afraid of you because me have enough vacative. So come use a national enemy from people. From people hear your name. Them say them hate that girl. Them hate that girl. You see? I think I did a good job of reading out all that foolishness. So let me start from the bottom. First of all, when people hear my name, more people love me than there are people that hate me. That's a fact. I would tell you if it was not otherwise. But Janet, people love me. People can't help themselves. I am lovable. I am charming. I am witty. I'm funny. I'm good looking. I'm brown. Me's a nice looking brown woman. Me have sex appeal. People love me. People can't help themselves but love me. So you can't go and talk that. Nobody don't love you because you have 6 belly and 4 chin. Look at me. Take a good look tonight, Janet, because I want you to take a good look tonight. Look at me. This is my head. Good looking brown woman. This here, this is my neck. You saw far my head there from my neck? Oh yes. And this is my shoulders. You saw far all of them there from each other. They are in the right place. Now take a look at you in the mirror, Janet. Because your head, your neck, and your shoulder them all in a one place. Because you look like Humpty Dumpty. You look like a damn over-bloated balloon. You don't look good, girl. You can't chat to me about people that like me. People don't like who do. People love me. Everywhere got people like me. Of course there are people that don't like me. But the people that don't like me is because them don't know me yet. If them once I get to know me, they'll like me. So let me start from this one, tell you. Now, Bay Farm Road, Kingston 11, Penn Avenue, Waterhouse. My dear Janet, my dear dunce, idiot Janet, all of that are four different places, you know. Bay Farm Road a different place from Penn Avenue. Penn Avenue a different place from Water. Well, one of them in the vicinity of Waterhouse. But you don't know what you're talking about. So what would I have done when I received something like this? The first thing I did was send it to Mr. Damian Mandison. You know, Mr. Mandison, Janet, Mr. Mandison in charge of the Huntsville police station and all the other police stations around the place. Lovely man, Mr. Mandison. We have a good relationship, he and I, because of Jews land, and he and I developed a relationship, you know. So, we send it to him, you know, just in case some fool decided he can come for me and come fling a stone for me and then we have them lock him up. That's why I send it to Mr. Mandison, because this is basically a threat on my life. So we deal with those two parts. The part where you say, you know, you're not afraid of me. Come on, Janet. As you write it, you delete it. As you write something else, you delete it. You are very afraid, Janet. You are absolutely frightful, terrified of me. That is why you delete them. And you have good reason to be, and I'm sure some people down at Trinidad encourage you to delete them, and I'm going to tell you. Because if you keep this up, it's not going to end well for you. Who have love walk around talk about who are your man and who you're there with, and call up big people name and all kind of involve yourself with other people. And because Victor, right, decide that him not sleep with no Humpty Dumpty woman with 6 belly and 4 chin. More sleep with woman when can see them neck different from them head, and them chin different from them face. So and you carry grievance for Victor right for that. And just in case you truly feel like you're not afraid, you should be. You should be terrified. If I were you, I'd be terrified. But you don't know. So you can't talk about you have who to send come to combat it. So I did a little thing for you, Janet. For your benefit, I did a little thing. I touched base with some labourite friend them down at Penwood. Janet, you don't know me, you know. I'm telling you all the while, you must not trouble God. Picnic. Because when you are talking about visa, Janet, and the magic word that you know, that is the magic word. You don't seem to get it yet, you know. You and Leighton Campbell and him crew. The visa is the magic word, you know. Do you know how much hundreds of people benefit from that? When you talk about visa? So all me have to do is touch base with some people down at Penwood Avenue, down at Batam Dessa, over Dessa, just to find out if the Dunbar live down there, so. And nobody know nobody name the Dunbar. Sad to say, Janet, that there is a Dunbar down at Penwood Avenue who asks, who? No, sir. Said me where we come from, man. So that cut that out. So you don't know nobody down at Penwood. You never know a dog down at Penwood. And Penwood is largely a labourite community that I have people and friends in. Do you know that Penwood High School is one of those schools, Janet, that have to make regular visit down there to help out a local youth who do something and them will expel him, or one mother have a little problem and the daughter in the school and she want me to come talk to the principal. What's wrong with you, Janet? What's wrong with you? We don't know with all disease infested self because it's disease like Uno that infested the PMP. And I can't tell me nothing Lego Mark shirt. We say all up on Mark shirt. We are lick him down on Facebook. But that all up on him shirt. We are lick him down on Facebook. Mr. All is that lick him down and we are fling stone upon him too as well. And you are defend Mark. Mark not defend you. Mark not defend you. The whole out full of a disease. Gonorrhea and all them, this is pestilence. Uno are the problem. So when you come with that foolishness, so we are going through it, you know. Yeah, man, we not stop. Me not come beat you. No, I don't have to beat you. Me can't beat a soul. Me a idiot, you know, me a coward. Me can't fight. Can't beat nobody. Can't beat me damn dog. Me try to lick Eli, him run rings round me. So me can't beat a soul, so you can't forget about that one. Because no beating now one, because me not going to your way for you beat me, because me can't beat nobody. Me can't fight. Alright? And whoever you have to send come to warn me from that end, let me direct you to precedence. You know what precedence mean, Janet? Do you know what go look it up. Well, look what precedence mean. Because you don't know what it means. But let me direct it to precedence. So you can talk to the precedent. I would advise you to have a discussion with Tony Hilton. Ask him if he did say I'm going to send some man to come give me a page when me a bust up Liberty for him and Mark Golden. You go and ask Tony Hilton if he made arrange with some man to come give me a page and ask him what to that. Precedence. You go ask him about that and ask him what to that before you come talk about you have who to send to come warn me. But in case you're dunce and stupid enough, which we know that you are, don't bother ask him, just send who you send. Anybody. Don't even tell who you send them, just send them. Tell them Jews-land where Jews-land is open. Everybody can come in. Don't mean everybody can get out, but everybody can come in. You know? So send who you are sent. Just send them to come warn me. And let me see who you going to get from anywhere down there, so to come up here, so come warn me. Try that. Because, I don't know, you're there, they flex like you think, say you have some kind of power, and you know some whole for people, and you can get people to do things for you. And if you feel like we have a peaceful woman, Janet, every man and everybody, every woman, man and child that know me, I am a peaceful woman. Me not engage in a war, and not that kind of war, them kind of physical things there. Me have more power in a different war. And my different war and my different power more effective than that way you are talking about. So don't do it. But if you want to do it, don't make me stop you. Go and go page whoever you want to page and tell whoever you want to come tell from Penwood or wherever that you want them to go up at Jews-land, and be very clear when you talk to them, Janet. Be very clear. Tell them you're sending them up to Jews-land. Top Jews-land, up at the top of the part of Jews-land. And you send them go check Karen, Cecilia, Cross. Be very clear, Janet. I'm imploring you to be very clear when you're doing that, so that there's no misunderstanding as to who you're sending them to come warn me. And link Tony Hilton, maybe him want to join up with you and want to try that again. Go right ahead. Tony, go right ahead. God sent Samuel to go tell Saul to go kill off the Amalekites them. God said to Samuel, so go find Saul and tell Saul to go kill every man, woman, and picnic. God did that, Janet. So with all your antics and excitement. And then you delete them. So nobody can see them. Because you delete them. As you post them, you delete them. And the only one I save is this one. The other two of them don't really matter. This one is the one that Mr. Mandison needed to have down at the Huntsville police station. This is the one that I needed for everybody to hear, that this is what you posted on Vinette Facebook page when we have beat up Mark Golden. Mark Golding don't know you. Mark Golding, if Mark Golding even know you, and yeah, I hear you. I understand. Got you. Yeah, defend Mark Golding. Nobody can defend Mark Golding. You can't defend Mark Golding. PJ can't defend Mark Golding. Peter Phillips can't defend Mark Golding. Nobody can defend Mark Golding. Only can try. But here's the thing, and the advice to you and the other parasites them, the other disease infested ones them, risers them, we are going to go on like the things so we can bully people and call everybody dirty girl and call everybody this and call all kind of nastiness. All because we can't put forward an argument against our argument. Because the only person we call Mark dirty man is me. And Mark is a dirty man. A dirty white man. And if nobody else calls him so, me call him so from time to time. I would not be offended if Mark referred to me as a dirty red woman. Because me call him a dirty red man, white man. But the rest of uno that come on social media to defend him, uno can't back up nothing. As we fling something out there for uno can't defend that. So they come with all kind of gimmicks. Dirty girl, dirty boy, stinking this, lick down that, uno go at that, nobody can stop you from that. What's wrong with uno? A gentleman told me that when people have gonorrhea, it affect them brain. So I need to bring on a doctor for my program one night to come talk about that. Because it seems like the whole of the risers them have gonorrhea. And maybe not do because Peter Bunting and well, in fucking way right through the whole and all the rise man them would dig out the whole big old empty whatever. Oh no, I don't want to get nasty pan this thing, you know. You, Janet Dunbar, nobody know why you don't look good. You don't look good, girl. You don't look good at all. And you can't talk to me no day of the week. Because when you are left your yard, it take you an hour to put a face. Is me I come out at 8 o'clock. It's 7:30, me wash my face. 7:30, me wash back my face. After, because I shower an hour and a half. I go, so let me wash my face. So at 7:30, I wash my face. Get my oil of Olay with me cotton. Wipe off the grease off my face and put on some oil of Olay. That take me 5 minutes, Janet. Because I'm a natural, born brown woman, born good-looking brown woman. And my head and my neck and my shoulders are in the correct place as God intended to be. You have 6 gut and 4 chin. Nobody don't know where your head begins and where your neck ends. Please, don't chat to me. Because if you should come back on any of the resistance page, come run up your mouth for me, then you're going to find out really where water walk go a pumpkin belly. Because you are threatening my life and are telling me you're going to send your abacative to send to come warn me. What's wrong with you, girl? What's the matter with you? Do you know who I am? You always fancy yourself to be some kind of, what? Do you fancy yourself to be some kind of influential somebody? Nobody know you. Nobody know you. You might know people, nobody know you. What's wrong with you? Why you had to come out here and do that? Take stock of yourself and ask yourself the question, why the hell did I do that? Why you couldn't just come participate in the conversation and say something to benefit Mark? Because the more you come and do them something against Mark, is the more we're going to lick him down. You do help him. Every time you come out to make things worse for him. That's what you do. Every time you come out, you make things worse for him. Because you don't have nothing to say good about him. So when we come out, I will say, this is a nasty, dirty white man who is lie and him thief. You can come out, come defend that. How? How we come out and say, Mark is not lie? And then we'll come out and say, see there? Bam, 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 him lie. And you're going to say, Mark is not thief? And we're going to say, bam, 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 see them thief. We're going to say, Mark, foreparents were not slave owners. And we're going to boom, see it there. And Mark never do nothing. We're going to throw back the WhatsApp, leak them powder. We don't do have anything. We don't have yet figured out how to defend him, except to attack us personally. And the worst thing about all of that, is that I refuse and stay away from attacking any of you personally unless you don't trouble me. I not attack nobody personally. Why would I attack you if you come out to defend Mark? I wouldn't attack you if you come to defend Mark. People come on my YouTube channel, left Mark, Gallan, PNP throw you out. My response to these people on my YouTube channel is, yeah, this is your opinion. You are free to express it. Me never root to none of them yet. I'm gonna block them. I'm gonna delete them comments. It doesn't bother me that this is your defense. But your defense is always a personal attack against those of us who lick down Mark Golding. Just like the transgender gorilla who takes it from Vinette Amar Wilson to lick down Mark Golding. And that's the only response, is to attack people personally. Because you don't have an argument to back up for your own argument to defend Mark Golding. You don't have nothing to defend him. So they come out here and attack people. Look at it out, man. You're not sick and tired to get licked down for that. You're not sick and tired of it. For lick you down just to come out here come do that. You don't care continue to do that. You're going to send man to come warn me, back it if come warn me. Man from Penwood, a man from Waterhouse, a man from Beer Farm Road. Do you know where Beer Farm Road is, Janet? You know where Beer Farm Road is? Do you know how to reach Beer Farm Road? Do you know any part of Beer Farm Road? Because Beer Farm Road is huge. Which part of Beer Farm Road you know? Where a Penwood you know about you grew up? Grew up where? Grew up where? Which Waterhouse? Which Penwood you grew up in that? Huh? Leave me alone, you hear me? Bang belly woman, leave me alone. Leave me alone, you disease infested piece of crap, leave me alone. Because I'm not troubling you. All I said in my response to you was, him we lived down for the last 4 years. Him and the witch and the pedophile and Bunty and the rest of them. And without troubling you, and then I asked you, are you troubling me? And you went off. My God, gonorrhea really affect people's brain space. You went off. Tell me who you send come warn me. What in my hometown? It's like you tell me say you go send the whole of the mangy dog out up where launch off of my gate right now. You gonna send them come warn me in my hometown? I'm telling you, man, get your act together, man. Because this is not something I wanted to do. I don't want to come out here come talk about this. I want to come out here come talk about Mark Golding and the lick down when gate and other things. But you come here, come do all of this. And me have to set you straight because I can't make you get over with that. Can't make you get over with that. That is not something that can make you get over with it. And when you threaten people's life them way there, you could even come and quarrel with me. You just come and threaten me. And then you delete it and tell me say you're not afraid of me. And the fact that you delete it is an indication that you're very much afraid. So, I am going to cross you out of my mind and totally forget that I know your name. And I don't want to come across you again. I will never mention your name in my mouth again. But I look forward to whatever it is you're going to be posting on me again. And you can post anything you want on your page. It don't matter to me. But if you come back on my Facebook page, then I'm going to make the senior superintendent down at Trelawney give you a link. I'm going to send him this and make them give you a link. How about that? Make you get to tell them which man you send come on. Because they don't want to know which man you're going to send come on. Which bucket you have that you're going to send come on. They don't want to know. So you do it again. And then we can take this to the next level. And remember, I'm not going down to your level. You have to come up here, sir. But you can't reach up here, sir, can you? Oh, no, you can't. You know, reach up here, sir. Anyway, that is that. And we're not talking about that anymore. Are we done with that? Oh, my name watch Miss Faval today. Maybe you know, I watch Miss Faval today. Miss Faval came to Parliament today. After she pretty much rendered Mark Golding unconscious 2 weeks ago. And then Mr. Oldest came and Mr. Oldest buried him, put him in a casket, and left him there. And then Miss Fable came today and performed his last rites. What a drama today at the Parliament. Lord have mercy, we don't reach us yet. We don't reach us yet. As I say, we have a few matters we want to get before we reach us. Now, somebody sent me a video. No, the video was in the war room. About side chick Nick, Miss Electric Breast, did a video talking about the CIA declassification of some files and trying to tie the Jamaica Labour Party to say that the CIA operation in Jamaica in the 70s, 80s, up to late 80s, early 90s, and the CIA have declassified files, and I think that this is something that we're going to run with and frighten Jamaicans about. And I thought that I would help someone to understand what that means. So whatever part of the file, presidents declassify files every year. Every year, president declassifies some things. You will never see some things. You will never see the real file of the assassination of John F. Kennedy. You will never see the real file of the CIA operation throughout any country. Not ever. Ever you will see any such file. You will see people who have information and people who know, people who talk and people who write things, people who are part of it and still alive. They might have a few things to say, to make a money or something like that. But you will never ever see those classified files. Those will never be declassified. What you saw was a declassification of some level of reporting. That's what you see. That's what they released. And when they release things and start talking about where CIA bases are in the Caribbean and CIA safe houses are in the Caribbean, I want you to believe when I tell you, we will never ever see those things. So whatever it is that side chick have, whatever it is that Bunting gave to her or tell her to go talk about it because he might have had some access to get a little bit of something, foolishness. The CIA will never ever leave countries like Jamaica. We're small fries now, but Jamaica is still a place that the CIA can operate from as a kind of base for the rest of the Caribbean. There will always be CIA bases all over the Caribbean, and you will never know where those are. We're not talking about it. We need to understand how these things work. There will be things in a classification file that suggest something nefarious was happening somewhere else, and you take that to be some kind of activity that was taking place. The CIA has never attempted to kill Michael Manley. Never ever. The CIA has never attempted to kill or murder or assassinate Michael Manley. They have attempted to assassinate Fidel Castro. If there was ever an assassination attempt at Michael Manley would be dead. Why? Because during those days, we never have the security apparatus that Cuba has, or this kind of security apparatus that Fidel had. We never had that. If they want to bump off Michael, then bump him off. That was not easy, nothing. So nothing never goes so. The CIA never want to assassinate Michael Manley, nor them try to poison Fidel through cigars, through stuff. Them try to kill Fidel number of times, the CIA. But Fidel's security apparatus was just as tight as that of the US president. Michael never had them the kind of security apparatus. Them can bomb him, them can push on Michael and kill him if them wanted to. So that's a lie. Were there security bases in Jamaica that the CIA operate from? Maybe one. And I'm not saying there was. Maybe one. Maybe 1.5, maybe. But it's nothing for us to start get frantic about at this time when we have good relationships with the US, and there is no government in Jamaica that are leaning towards communism, and nobody not talk about them are going to take away people's house and take away people's shoes and share people's flour. You see, I have no reason to do all of that. So whatever it is that Miss Electric Breast side chick Nick was trying to get across to the Jamaican people, want to stop it, because it is trying to drive fear into people. It is a fear tactic. And that not going to work, because people can travel, go anywhere, and people can do anything they want. Them not under no jurisdiction, them not under no order, no shadow. Nobody now watch nobody. And all of us phone bugged. Who are our phone bugged? So and that have nothing to do with whether we hate America or like America, or whether we hate Trump or like Trump. That is just a whole heap of security things that just go on, and people just get out of control, and everybody phone have been something, and that is that. So that's a fear tactic. And let me tell you now, there are things that will never be told. You all watch the movie Independence Day with Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum, and Tim Robbins was played president. I think not Tim Robbins. Not Tim Robbins played president. I remember the guy played president. But anyway, in Independence Day, when the aliens then blew up the White House and Air Force One took off, and them trying to figure out a safe place to carry the president and to land, and nobody could figure out a safe place. And then this guy, I think him name Ray-Ban is his name, that star. When him come in a show, him always him always playing a slimy character in the show. And in this movie, him was the vice president. And when them in the air, when Air Force One was in the air, the president and everybody then they try to figure out where we're going to land, where is a safe place to go. And one president assistant says, how about Area 51? And Area 51, and the president said, oh come on, that's just conspiracy theory. There is no Area 51. And the slimy guy that plays the vice president look at the president and say, well, not exactly. The president said, what? Yes, there may be an Area 51. And that's how they found that place, Area 51, which is in the movie. Of course, it's fictional, but many Americans believe that there is an Area 51, that alien landed in the desert of New Mexico in the 1950s, and that the US government captured some alien aircraft and have some aliens in one big bunker where them built underground in Area 51 in the desert of New Mexico. Yeah, people believe that. And that's where the plane landed, and that's where them operated from to defeat the aliens. Now, why did the vice president know of Area 51, but the president did not know? And I'm going to segue this into the Marco Rubio visit to Jamaica. I'm going to segue this into the Marco Rubio visit to Jamaica. Why did the vice president on the plane knew about Area 51, but the president did not know about Area 51? Simple. The vice president in the movie was also, at one point before he became vice president, he was the CIA director. So he knew things that the president never knew. And let me tell you, this is not just movie antics. Steven Spielberg, when he made E.T., Steven Spielberg, when people saying it's fictional and some of these things that him said, and Steven Spielberg said, well, people must understand, that most of these things that we write about and we direct about or write screenplay about or produce movies about, many of it is actually true in our country. True to things that people that we admit to. That's what Steven Spielberg said. Well, him can't say so. Him a direct E.T. I mean, him can't say so. And the vice president was CIA director. And the CIA director know more things than the president. Let me tell you that. There are people in the intelligence community that knows more than the president of the United States. Why? The president will have plausible deniability. So somebody say, there's Area 51. The president can speak very honestly, clearly, and say, no, there's no such thing. Because they're not telling. There are secrets in the United States that most presidents don't know about. And yes, there is a book, a secret book, that the presidents have. It's not a made-up thing with Nicolas Cage and them running around with the president's book with a secret thing started from George Washington. It does exist. But it's not with all of that, what I'm saying, but the right things in our president. But anyway, the CIA director and people in the intelligence community, the director of national intelligence, the NSA director, all of them people there, most of those people have more information than the president of the United States. It's a fact. Them don't tell the president some things. Probably the most modern president that probably knew everything was George H.W. Bush. George Bush's father, the first Bush. He probably knew everything because he was both CIA director, vice president, and president. CIA director knows everything. As you become CIA director, you have access to pretty much everything. All of everything, barring nothing. So, you don't take them foolish to say that bunting side chick putting out and talking about that. Which brings us into the Marco Rubio visit and all of that. So Marco Rubio is visiting Jamaica tomorrow, we understand. And Marco Rubio is now what? The 72nd Secretary of State of the United States. And I do believe that he's probably the first since Colin Powell never visited as Secretary of State. I'm not so sure if he visited. But if Colin Powell visited as Secretary of State, then Marco Rubio will be the second Secretary of State that we're having in modern times. I am absolutely certain that Mr. Holness is going to be very candid with Marco Rubio about our relationship with Cuba, because we have to be fair and we have to be honest and make the United States understand. Say, yeah, we value you as a partner. You are our most valued economic partner. We cherish this relationship that we have with you. But listen up, Cuba, our neighbor, right beside we nearest neighbor. Cuba is the neighbor who will come with the first bucket of water when the house are burned down. Cuba is the neighbor we can pass sugar over the wall, a little salt over the wall, lend me $100. Cuba can't lend me nothing, but Cuba is the neighbor. And Mr. Holness will tell Marco Rubio that Cuba is our nearest neighbor. And our relationship with Cuba has evolved over the years. And Mr. Holness will remind him that he is not Michael Manley. And he will also remind Marco Rubio that it's 2025. And the fears of a Cuba-Jamaica relationship is not as it was, is not now as it is in 2025 as it was back in the 1980s. It's a different relationship. And while them want to shut down Cuba and lock down Cuba and punish Cuba forever, we are not on that path to punish Cuba. Them can continue to do what they do. But Mr. Holness will have to tell Marco Rubio that you can do what you are doing and we are doing what we are doing because our neighbor is the nearest neighbor. Who do they far? Our house abundant, we can't rely on for the water. At Cuba, we have to rely on for the local water. The house catch a fire. So Mr. Holness will have to tell Marco Rubio that. You have to be candid with him and truthful with him. And that is the best path forward for Mr. Holness. Now Marco Rubio is not a... you see, Trump is a transactional guy. And Trump is a bully. Marco Rubio is not that. But Marco Rubio don't really have no power. Because Marco Rubio can't do nothing on his own without Mr. Trump agreeing with it and all of that. So my own take on the thing is that Marco Rubio is not a bad guy to talk to. He was the vice chairman of the subcommittee on intelligence. Them know everything, them know more things than the president. I think him also sat on the foreign relations committee in the Senate. And so Holness can discuss small business opportunities with him because he was also the chair of the small business and entrepreneur committee in the Senate. And Marco Rubio's utterances and the things that he says now is a pure political calculation on his part. He still wants to be president. A team of people around Mr. Trump are not people who want to really do no work and hold nobody accountable for nothing. Them really want that. We must study the thing properly. This government need to study the thing properly and understand this thing properly. That Mr. Trump now seek no war with people like Jamaica. What Mr. Trump is a bully, and the only way to deal with a bully is to lick him down. Don't play a feed game and bully nobody. But the only way to deal with a bully is to stand up right up to him. Just stand up to him. And Trump respect people that stand up to him. Man, I like it some time when you say some things, but once you get to explain some things in ABC terms to him, he will understand. Boy, Mr. Trump, I understand how you feel about the Cuba thing, but hear me. And we neighbor them and you them weird on the sub. If we want some water for outlook of fire, we can call you, because it take long. Cuba they right us up, them will just come. That is, you have to talk to him in an infantile kind of manner. Marco Rubio, you have to talk to him in that way, because Marco Rubio is an educated man who comes from Cuban heritage. I think his grandparents landed in America and both, and he has Cuban lineage. You know what I mean? Him coming. But I'm explaining Marco Rubio to Mr. Oldest. Now, Mr. Oldest listen to me. Come understand these people. I'm deep into what these people do. Marco Rubio not coming here to come bully nobody and war with nobody and push nothing down nobody's throat. So Mr. Oldest will stand up to him, because Mr. Oldest is taller than Marco Rubio. And Mr. Oldest must make sure he said, make him see him taller than him. And Marco Rubio have political ambitions, and everything is mired into that. He want to build relationships. He want to show Trump say I do a good job. All what them said I'm going to do don't necessarily mean that I'm going to do it. Most of it is blustering. And yeah, we can't just take that to be that is just something that them are bluster about and we're going to easy because of blustering. Yeah, we can't do that. We have to take them serious in many matters. But you have to understand the psychology under which they're operating. And you yourself as the leader of this country, the leaders of this country, when they deal with their money, you have to bring on yourself like actors in our movie. Because this is a movie and there's a script. I would have to carry yourself in there, I would have to find yourself in there, I would have to play a role. And if there is always space in the script for new roles. So Mr. Wallace have to know how to handle. And I think Mr. Wallace knows how to handle these issues with Marco Rubio. And just make Marco Rubio know that, yeah, we hear you, but the Cuba issues are non-issue. The man them there are help we, and no doctor for learn with. We will send back the Cuban doctors and we will send we some. If we have 900 Cuban doctors here, if you send us 1,000, free of cost and everything, we will send back the Cuban ones. Them they have that so they can match that. But Mr. Wallace never go that far still. So Mr. Wallace have to defend Jamaica, and he have to defend our nearest neighbor, because that's the neighbor with the first bucket of water when the house are burned down. Simple terms. You make Mr. Wallace have to tell Marco Rubio that in as simpler terms as he possibly can, while he remain a statesman and respectable statesman. Marco Rubio is not a rude guy. He is not. Trump did really emasculate him back in 2016, and them not really like Trump, but everybody playing them role in the script. So I'm saying. So the Cuba matter is a matter that Mr. Wallace can also play on Marco Rubio, because Marco Rubio entire community down in Florida, a Cuban population, and whatever Republicans, and he need them to win whatever primary need to win, and for him next step in his career and all of that. And we are just pawns in this game, and we're unimportant in the scheme of things. But I also have a thought about one of the reasons why I believe Marco Rubio is coming down here. And my thought is simple. If he come down here, something down here where he want. Something down here that him think him going to need to buffer himself, or to big up himself, or to something down here. Don't figure it out yet, but something down here that him going to be needing. And going forward in his own political career, to have leaders like Andrew Holness, who is recognized by them, is a big deal for people like Marco Rubio. And Andrew Holness still does, I believe, have a very good relationship with Kamala Harris. When she was vice president, we used to visit her pretty often. And maybe Marco Rubio see an opportunity of some kind there, and because opportunist. Now we're not beating up little Marco because we like little Marco. I like little Marco. But you know, them have them thing. Now there's another matter with the Caribbean and the US. And I know some people are not going to be very happy about what I'm about to say. And that is the matter of Mia Mottley. Now Mia Mottley has become, as it emerged, as the kind of the voice, the spokesperson, the stateswoman for the Caribbean in the absence of a Michael Manley. And she played that role pretty effectively. She was very close to Biden. Mr. Biden invited her down to the G7 meeting down in England when he just win, and him and I was holding hands like they were old friends. But I think Mia Mottley, with all of her attributes as a excellent leader and somebody the Caribbean can look up to, I also believe that she tends to run her mouth too much sometimes, and I also believe that she seemed to believe that there's a separation of the American politics from the Caribbean politics, and that we can just chuck up ourselves and separate ourselves from that, and that is not so. It appears to me that she running for some kind of international position, because the way she get up and talk every minute and was talking all kind of things every minute, and not beating up Mia Mottley. I'm just saying I think she has some kind of agenda, and that agenda has nothing to do with we down at Jamaica here. It has to do with her. And yes, she stand up for the Caribbean. And yes, she give us strength. And yes, she make us want to fight. But it's not every fight that has to be one where you throw a blow. Not every fight have to be one where you light a matches. Not every fight have to be one where you decide that you can fan some flames. And I do believe that our government has to be not just do whatever do, and don't fall into a trap where you have to support your neighbors. You have to support the Caribbean community because we're a part of it, and we have to absolutely 100% back the Caribbean community, but also be mindful that Jamaica plays a more crucial and critical role in international politics than the rest of them. Now beat them up, now belittle them. It's just a fact of life. We are considered to be big brothers and big sisters to them. Bigger brother and bigger sisters. We have more pull, we have more weight, we have more influence than they do. But she has emerged as one with enormous clout and influence too, because of the closeness that she developed with the Biden administration people. And yeah, with Britain too, Keir Starmer and them, yeah. She and them developed this, relationship. Jamaica don't have to fight nobody and quarrel with nobody. We're not cowards, but the new slogan of Jamaica, the Jamaica Labour Party campaign slogan, part of it seems to be choose Jamaica. Well, let's by all means, let's choose Jamaica. In every way, every aspect, and every level. Let's go right ahead and choose Jamaica. And be mindful of your neighbors. And be cognizant of the fact that your neighbors are there to help you when you need some water to throw for the fire. So, but Jamaica has to separate itself in some issues and also look after Jamaica's interest outside of that community as well. That's just the way it is, because the international politics is going to swallow everybody. With Trump at the head of the international politics as it is now, it's going to swallow everybody. Justin Trudeau gonna feed yard. The new man start war with Mr. Trump already. Everybody, every province in Canada, a war with him and Elon Musk already. That is how it is now. That is just how it is, and that is how we have to fight. That is the feel that we have been given. And in the field of the Caribbean, Jamaica is number one. So we have to tread that and walk that carefully and make sure that we protect the interests of our people. And yeah, everybody prepare to lose their visa to keep the Cuban doctors. And that is one that we all together on, without a shadow of a doubt. Everybody on the same page with that. But Mr. Holness and Mrs. Kamina Johnson Smith and the rest of the Jamaican team must understand that when they go into negotiation to talk to these people, choose Jamaica first. And look after your neighbors them. And make sure you look out for your neighbors them, and don't make them try to blindside your neighbors them, and speak up for your neighbors them. But you have a responsibility to this country first and foremost. And that is my 2 pence on this. In other words, Marco Rubio is not a threat. Marco Rubio is somebody that we can build relationships with. He's, after all, the Secretary of State, and yeah, he have some power, and to be a good thing. Pardon me, to have a good relationship with him. It would be nice if him and Mr. Holness could develop a good relationship like he did with Vice President Kamala Harris. I doubt very much that Mr. Holness can develop a good relationship with my name Vance. So Marco is a good person to start develop that relationship with. So that is basically where I am with that and the Marco Rubio issue, and the Jamaica and the Cuba issue, and all of that. I am just trying to share with you my own views of the whole political landscape worldwide and how we fit into that. So while we want to put ourselves in this little box to say we are defending Caribbean and we defend CARICOM, that is a fact. We have to. But we also must recognize that there is a different world dynamic. The politics is more scattershot. It's more emotional, and it's more personal. So we can't get left behind in it, in the name of wanting to back something that somebody want to back. So don't say no more upon that. So that is that with that. So let us see if we can we'll talk about some other things and move on to some other things and talk about it. There is an unusual amount of deaths. I know this is probably not interesting to nobody, but there is an unusual amount of deaths of women over 40, late 40s, early 50s, and most of it has been exposed that these women probably have some level of medical issues, and then they just dropped dead. Mia Love in Utah, well, she died, but she had some kind of brain cancer. And there is Jessica Aber, who was the District of Virginia. Biden just appointed her state attorney, attorney for the District of Virginia. And these women just dead. I mean, why I bring it up is this. I think that all women need to pay attention to the medication that you get. Medication for anything, any and everything. And if we can go back to some of the herbs that we have here in Jamaica, that will be better for us. But every there is a thing going around in some of the groups that I am involved in. Well, not really involved, but follow them and listen to them. That the pharmaceutical industry is messing with medication to create more medication to make more money. The pharmaceutical industry has long been labeled as a draconian organization of criminals who basically create disease and create sickness through the medication that they produce, and then produce tablets and all kind of medication to solve sicknesses that they created. And then you have a lot of things from that what them call them you create something to solve something that you create, and in that the side effects of that also create more diseases and more sicknesses. And there's that out there. I don't know if I believe it. I don't really know yet if I believe it yet. But I read up on it now. I just started day before yesterday to read up on some of this. When I saw Jessica here died, and I started reading up on it. And I'm saying that there is this whole, them call them conspiracy theorists, them call them liberal, whatever, but there's this whole group of people who actually believe that the pharmaceutical industry is killing people, literally killing people in order to make more money. And that is that. I'm just saying to the Jamaican women, pay attention to your medication. Pay attention to the medication you get. Ask doctors questions about simple, every damn thing. What is the side effect of this? Everybody probably know Dr. Smith. Him sit down and talk your ears off about what in every medication that him prescribe for you. Because Dr. Smith just seems like him have nothing else to do and do that. And see him talk about and him diagnose something and say, all right, I'm going to give you some of this. It is and him take one whole half an hour to tell you what it is and what in it. And you mustn't do this. And him said, don't pay attention to whatever is written on it to say, this is side effect. And listen to me, that's what Dr. Smith would say. So I'm saying, pay attention to your medication. Go back to the herbs if you have to. Because it is something that is going around. And quite a few people taking note of it. And I thought I would just mention it. And I don't have no knowledge of the fact that of the argument that the pharmaceutical is doing this, the pharmaceutical industry is doing this, but people say so. But check out your medication and then take it from there, all right, and make your decisions regarding that. All right, so now, okay, that was draining, that first hour. Mr. Holness, the Jamaican Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, have gone through what I like to call a movement from ordinary to classic. You know, a bottle of wine that was brewed and bottled in 1876, and there are still maybe 600 or 700 bottles of that very said wine. It gets better each year, so it costs more money each year because it's wine, it ages and it becomes fine wine. But the thing about fine wine is that it has to be fine wine when it is just brewed, when it is just made. Over the years it becomes finer wine actually. I don't know why them say fine wine age, because it has to be fine wine first. Because even if it's a dopey wine that doesn't work, no matter how much years it did, it's just a fine wine. But I am going to give you some analogies of how I view Mr. Holness's presentation to Parliament, at which him basically kill Mark Molin, figuratively, theoretically. And I decided that I'm going to do it from my favorite perch, and that is the perch of movies. And I want you to pair with me. For those of you who like movies, just come with me, because I love this part of it, you know. We're going to discuss the Prime Minister's presentation and what he did, what he said, what he did not say, and how it all came across, and how it's going to help him, and whatever holes there might be in it that he need to plug, or whatever tear in it that he might need to stitch or something, you know. But let's look at classic movies going into his classic presentation and how he has grown into the role as Prime Minister and has become a statesman that seems to be, you know, him just getting better and better. And each day you look at him, you see where it is getting better and better. And before I go into the movie, they all tell you that one of the things that I observed from the Prime Minister's body language and him clothes and him salt and pepper ear and how him deliver himself now and how his confidence has shifted. I wouldn't say it has grown, but it has shifted, because he has always been a confident man. But it has shifted. It has shifted from cautious confidence to basically macho confidence. Mr. Mr. Owens is not the kind of man who is mature enough to be rude and to be overconfident that he want to lick down nobody or nothing. But it has shifted to a kind of macho confidence. And that confidence is reflective not only in his clothes and his body language, but also I noticed, and me and Natalie and Michelle was discussing it, that we noticed that it has shifted in his relationship with his wife. And I don't know if anybody else has noticed that the relationship between Mr. and Mrs. Holness have shifted into a much, much better place than it was a year and a half ago. A year and a half ago or so, 2 years ago, Mrs. Holness was suffering from public backlash about one thing or the other. I contribute to some of that too. Well, I'm a backlash, but I criticize her for things that I believe that she was deserving of criticism about, and I'm not making an apology about that. If I get information and feel that something wrong, I'm going to criticize her about that. I have always felt, and I said it from the beginning, that when Mrs. Holness became Speaker of the House, or before she became Speaker of the House and her name came up as being the possible Speaker of the House, there were some grumblings about the Prime Minister wife being the Speaker of the House. And the other day, I listened to Diane Jackson Miller and a caller calling about the two Holnesses control the government. And I found it so hurtful. It was hurtful to me, but it was also it is clear as to how the media and certain media personalities deal with this kind of thing. So here's this caller calling her to Emily program, and I listen to Emily from time to time. Michelle will send me something, and somebody will send me something. I say, listen to this, and I listen. So this particular one, the caller called in, and the caller said, "Boy, the wife or husband around the country," and yeah, it's a talk show, and if it is a talk show that leans one way, you're going to back up the argument like a Rush Limbaugh used to be. If you're not ultra conservative, you don't call into Rush Limbaugh, because you can't call into Rush Limbaugh and say, yeah, you know that I am pro-life, or I believe that, you know, children should be born. Yeah, you can't call in to Rush Limbaugh and you couldn't call into Rush Limbaugh and say, yeah, I am pro-life, but I believe a woman have the right to choose. You couldn't call in. I wrote Rush Limbaugh a letter once and said that to him, and he wrote me back and tell me that I'm a confused woman. So, I mean, you can't call in and say that. You can't call and do that. So if somebody call into the program and say to you that his wife or husband are run the government, it's your responsibility as a journalist, if you say you're a journalist, to say to the person, well, how do you come to that conclusion? But people like Emily, them like to have conversation with the people that call them, but not the hard conversation. They want to have light conversations. Unlike Cliff Hughes, who would ask how you come to that, or why you think that. So when the caller made the argument that his wife or husband around the country, Emily had the opportunity to say to the caller, which seems to me that might be a hell little woman, a big woman, to say to the caller, well, that is not entirely true. Mrs. Wallace is the Speaker of the House, and she don't run government. She's the Speaker of the House. And then you could take the time out and the opportunity to say to the caller who's a Jamaican that you want to educate and you want them to be better. Because it's things like these why our people not better, you know. Why them can say the things that they say and nobody don't correct them. Because people like Emily don't correct them. To say to the woman, Mrs. Holness was elected by the people of East Rural St. Andrew. East Rural St. Andrew, and point out the communism to the woman. The communities of some sections of Harbour View, out of 8 miles, 7 miles, 9 miles, all the way up. These people, Shooters Hill, all these people elected Mrs. Holness as their representative into the Jamaican Parliament. Mr. Holness didn't choose her. None of the government ministers or members didn't choose her. It was the people of East Rural St. Andrew that chose her. And Emily needed to explain that to the caller, that they chose her to be their member of Parliament. As such, she has a right as a member of the Parliament to offer herself for any position in the Parliament. So if the parliament need to elect somebody for sweep, she can't say, I want to work. The parliament decided they want to elect someone to make coffee. She can't say she doesn't like to apply for the work. She's in the parliament. And so as a parliamentarian, she offered herself to be the Speaker of the House, and her colleagues agreed, and they elected her. And Emily did not correct the woman. She did not explain to the Jamaican. So the woman came on the program, said what she have to say, and left the program done as she came on the program. Because these people don't believe that's their responsibility to educate Jamaican people. Now is the time. This is the time. Maybe some time ago you never believed, but now is. Because people are getting information from just about everywhere. So they need to get it correctly. And so the woman left, and she'll come back again the next time and call in again. And you say, what going on, Miss Belly? Yeah, man. Let me hear you. And she said some foolishness again, and you let her get away with it again. She left back dunce again. Believing, as she said, that Mr. and Mrs. Holness are around the country. Which they are not. But anyway, I never want to diverge into all of that. I was saying that Mrs. Holness and Mr. Holness seems to, based on their body language, have weathered the storm and have found themselves in a much, much better place than they were before. And that is very heartening to see. It's very heartening to see the leader of the country and his wife, based on what we can see publicly, enjoying a much closer and respectful and loving relationship in the public view. And it is worth mentioning that we have observed that, and we want to say to them, to the Holnesses, keep going, and God be with you and continue to build on a life and stay focused for the Jamaican people. And you know, then get into the cascades and stuff. But let's talk about Mr. Holness now. You know, ready? You know, with me? So, there are some classic movies that were classics when they were made, and some became classics over a period of time. Now, let's go back to as far as 1939. In 1939, there was The Wizard of Oz was made with Judy Garland. You know, Dorothy went to this magical land, couldn't find her way back home. She know where home is, but she couldn't find her way back, and singing her way talk about, you know, wonderful of life and that. Now, it was not an instant classic. The Wizard of Oz was not an instant classic movie. It to make the movie cost like $2.7 million to make the movie, and the movie the box office made about $3 million, so they had a loss. So the movie never made the money, and it was not regarded as a good movie. Then they re-released it in 1949, and it started to run, and the VHS and the DVD, and over time it became a crowd favorite. And after a while, The Wizard of Oz is a classic movie. I mean, if you want to go watch a nice magical movie, take yourself out of your life and put your mind in the next life, go watch The Wizard of Oz. Go watch Dorothy in that wonderful pair of red shoes, singing her way through fairyland, trying to find her way back to Kansas. It's wonderful to watch. But also, in 1939, one of the biggest movies were made, Gone with the Wind, with Clark Gable and Vivian Leigh. Who watched that movie? Which round upon this live watch that movie, Gone with the Wind? And for those of you who have never watched Gone with the Wind, you don't know what you're missing. Go watch Gone with the Wind. But here's what I discovered about Gone with the Wind. The best time to watch it is at Christmas time. What's the most famous line in Gone with the Wind? Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. That's Clark Gable talking to, what's her name? Scarlett O'Hara in the movie with him and Vivian Leigh. Also in that movie there was Olivia de Havilland, and who know who George Reeves was? George Reeves was probably the first Superman I hear. Now the thing about Gone with the Wind is that while it was a movie that was set in the Civil War era, and it has a lot of undertones of racism, and not only undertones but blatant racism in Gone with the Wind, there was Attie, what's her name? I don't have her name here. Attie McDaniel, this big black woman who played the maid for Scarlett's big mansion in the South in Gone with the Wind. And Hattie McDaniel became the first black woman to be nominated for an Oscar in a supporting role in Gone with the Wind. She never won, but she was nominated, and that was a big deal for us, even though Gone with the Wind was such undertones of a whole heap of racism and so on and so forth. And you know that we love Clark Gable. I mean, he was just the hottest man back in 1939. But my point to you about the 1939 movies is that there was Gone with the Wind, there was Wizard of Oz, and there was another movie in 1939 that was made. And maybe some of you have never watched this movie, and I encourage you to go watch this movie. It's a political movie. It's black and white. Well, most of them black and white. There's a political movie named Mr. Smith Goes to Washington with James Stewart, which is where the whole idea of filibuster came about. A naive little man from down one place, and him decided to run for Congress, and him win, and him think him going to change everything because everybody tells him can't change everything, so him go down there and realize him can't change everything, but him down there and him stand up for the whole night and talking. He said, I encourage you to go watch Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. And those are the big movies of 1939. All of them nominated for Oscars. Gone with the Wind stole the show, took everything. Then there was Citizen Kane in 1941. And when the first time I heard about Citizen Kane that movie that was made in 1941, the first time somebody said to me, Karen, you forgot watch Citizen Kane, many, many years ago. And I said, why? Because it seemed that I read the credits, and it just seemed like not a good movie. And I say, yeah, but you know, it's a classic now. It become a classic now because it makes a lot of money and people love it now. And it's a big go-to movie. What is Citizen Kane about? A tycoon who died, and when on his deathbed, he whispered a word, something he said, and sent a journalist on wild goose chase trying to figure out what is it that he said and what it means. And I'm telling you, the movie is, I mean, it carries you. You know, it just carries you. You have to go see. You have to see. Classic, 1941. 1942, the classic of 1942 was Casablanca. Ingrid Bergman and Humphrey Bogart. And boy, when you talk about the most quotes of a movie, Godfather, Casablanca, Forrest Gump, people use those quotes from those movies a lot in Casablanca. And Casablanca was set against the backdrop of World War II. And this guy that owns a bar and met this woman, and it was all about love and lust and betrayal and lies and all the rest of it. But it was also a fun, good movie. Here's Looking at Your Kid. That's a Humphrey Bogart quote in that movie. The most famous quote from that movie is, of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she has to walk into mine. That was a classic quote. And Casablanca is a classic. Now, when Casablanca was made, it didn't become an instant classic. Casablanca became a classic over time. Godfather became an instant classic. You can know when a movie is going to become an instant classic. Marlon Brando, oh God, man. Godfather, Corleone, 1972, all the era for that kind of movie. So once you went to, one of the reasons why Casablanca and Gone with the Wind were such classics and made such great impact on the movie industry and actually were good movies was because the backdrop of which they were set in. Casablanca was World War II backdrop. Gone with the Wind is Civil War backdrop. So those were the era for those movies to be great. Godfather, 72, it couldn't be anything else but classic and great. It was 72. It was when every U.S. attorney, every court wanted to lock up every criminal that is associated with the mob. It was mobster era. 72 was mobster era when everybody's a mob boss or a mob runner or somebody doing all kind of crap. So Godfather would have been a classic from it was made. I'm going to make him an offer he cannot refuse. That was Dan Carlone saying all of that. But there's something else that Dan Carlone said I really, really want to share it with you. Dan Carlone also said the lawyer with the briefcase can steal more money than the man with the gun. You hear that, PJ? The lawyer with the suitcase, with the briefcase, can steal more money than the man with the gun. PJ, five bank book can steal more money than you can believe, that you make people believe. But there was that. And it was also the Godfather that said, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Now, so there. Now, we'll come down to the last now, where I want to make this comparison with you, with what Mr. Holness has done. Everybody have watched Shawshank Redemption. Come on, tell me everybody have watched Shawshank Redemption. I've watched Shawshank Redemption maybe 6 or 7 times. Any day that I see that, I kind of just watch it, you know? Now, Shawshank Redemption, to me, when I watched Shawshank Redemption when it came out in 94, and Shawshank Redemption came out in 94 when Forrest Gump also came out in 94. Schindler's List also came out in 94. So 94 was a big movie year. And when I first watched Shawshank Redemption, for me there was nothing to it. It's an ordinary story. Lawyer get locked up because his wife dead, and them say him kill him wife, them lock him up, them prison him, go to prison, him escape. So that's the long and short of the script of Shawshank Redemption. Except we watch it the second time, and the third time, and the fourth time. That's why it become a classic. That's why it moved from a movie that barely made $10 million at the box office in 94, nominated for 7 awards, won 0, because that year Schindler's List and Forrest Gump just soup up everything. So Shawshank never really won anything. But when you look at the movie Shawshank Redemption, the cinematography of that movie, the whole screening of the movie, the prison setting of the movie, that in itself makes it a classic way to make a movie. The cinematography of a movie is what basically shaped the character of the movie, you know. And all of that was not seen by the first watch or the second watch. It's over time. You see that. And then there was a bro relationship between Andy Dufresne, who was played by Tim Robbins, and Morgan Freeman, who played Red. And that bro relationship that developed between a youth who went to prison when he was 17, so he didn't know what going on in the world that Andy Dufresne came from as a big shot lawyer, and they developed a pretty good relationship, a brotherly relationship in prison. And then there's a part of that relationship that makes the movie also very classic. The Rita Hayworth part, the Raquel Welch part, when Andy asked Red to get him a pin-up of Rita Hayworth, and poor Red in a prison from him 17, I know who Rita Hayworth was at that time. Rita Hayworth was a big star. When him got to prison, went to prison, Rita Hayworth was probably 15, so he didn't know who that is. So when Andy asked him for a pin-up of Rita Hayworth, and he wanted to know who Rita Hayworth was, and Andy was explaining to him who Rita Hayworth was, and Andy used Rita Hayworth's own words to explain to him who Rita Hayworth was, you know. There's this movie that Rita Hayworth did, Gilda, and Andy used that movie to explain to Red the kind of sex symbol that Rita Hayworth was. Because Rita Hayworth came down the red carpet, and them interviewing about the movie, Gilda, and she made a comment that is a famous comment. She said, well, they were talking about all the men that she's sleeping with, because them women are never afraid, men and women. And Rita Hayworth said, well, men go to bed with Gilda and they wake up with me. And of course, Red never understand that. So, and you have to explain it to him that Gilda is our famous beautiful, talented, wonderful role that she played. And men love Gilda, so they went to bed with Gilda. But when we make up the man, they make up with Rita Hayworth. And that was a nice, the shot, the scene, that's what makes that so good. So, Shawshank Redemption make the money at the box office. Probably sell about 29 million and all of that. But over time, it became a people's favorite, a crowd favorite, a movie favorite. Everybody loves Shawshank Redemption. And so it has become a very, very good movie. Andrew Holness was a green young youth that came to the politics through Mr. Seaga. Mr. Seaga brought him into the politics, gave him West Central, St. Andrew, and said, I'm going to see if you can make your life. He worked at Mr. Seaga's business office while they were in opposition. He worked there and stuff. We used to laugh a lot when we used to see him around here in the community. In those suits that he told me that is his sister buy him suits because she used to work at Macy's. So she buy him suits and for him. Never fit him so well, but suits. And he grew. Him grew up. Him grew big. Him grew big now, and when he started out, nobody wanted to take him very seriously. Time wasn't a classic. But then the more we saw of him, the more we hear from him, the more we see what him can go through and what him can come through and what him can do, he now become a classic. To the extent that it now went to Parliament last week Thursday, and in a manner that has not been done in this country since the rivalry between Michael Manley and Seaga. He basically stripped Mark Golding naked and shows all him naked red behind. Strip him down to him naked red behind, and all I would see him red backside and them little beanie teely. And all they stripped him down methodically, dramatically, theatrically, stripped him down to him bare red ass and him little beanie red teapot. When Andrew Holness finished with him, it was a classic performance of that knows no. And all of you, every single person in this country, every one of us who blogging can talk about why the Prime Minister do this and the Prime Minister do that. It's 5 hours, but you ought to watch it again because that's how you appreciate it being classic. You can't appreciate it unless you go watch it again. I'm not sure for telling you. Say yes, but watch it again. 5 full hours straight. Me never move, me just lie down and watch it. I want to pick out the classics out of it. I want to understand why it become a classic. I want to see him with him salt and pepper here. It's the lowest I've ever seen him here. The salt, the pepper in the top, salt around it. He looked distinguished. He looked happy. He looked comfortable. He looked as if he's saying to the Jamaican people, you made me. Here I am. I want to make you proud. And we can all say we are proud. I'm proud of my member of Parliament, the way that he structured that presentation and presented it to the country. It's not politics. It's classic. It's classic. About how you outline it and expose this man to the Jamaican people for them to see him. Because all the way out to exposing Mark Golding. And for about 3 years, Mark Golding out here, him tell lie after lie after lie after lie on the Prime Minister. him threw shades after shades after shades on the Prime Minister. And finally, people over a period of time, yes, history, have begun, now that's history, and if history come call you this hour of the night, it means you want something to eat. So, if I make somebody go to the gate, I'm going to get history that whatever it is that I'm asking for. No, I'm not breaking my train of thoughts of that. So, after Mark Golding do all of that, Andrew Wallace didn't say a thing. I was telling my sister to see what history wants and give to him. Out here, day after day, night after night, every morning, every opportunity him get. So what I'm up to say about the Prime Minister of the land. And then the Prime Minister said nothing. Because that's how classics become classic. Simmer it there, building there, churning out all the good parts. People get to see all the good parts of that classic movie again, and then put it all together, and turn it, and them see it, and suddenly them see it. Them don't see it, you know. There he was, bullying the Prime Minister, because he was a man who was a bully the Prime Minister. And all the things for the last 3 years that he was saying that the Prime Minister inexplicitly strip him down to him bare red behind, and we get to see him big and him little red tealy stark staring naked in the Parliament, stuck in his phone, all the things that he has been saying. And the Prime Minister, in a classic way, could not say, that may I say to you. But here's some of them. Or him get Justice Panton to put the Prime Minister's parents' name in a report, and the Prime Minister came to the Parliament with one of them pan of water with a big strap in it. Remember, teacher voted. Even faster than a marvel, me know it upon the line. You remember, teacher voted school? Teacher voted have the belt a soak in the pan. And you never get a look? Mr. always reach for that belt. And Mr. always get up in a classic way, not my little ruffian way. And say, yeah, you make Justice Panton and him crew put my parents' name in a report. Blap! Pan him red ass. Turn red again. Orchestrated lies and attacks against my wife. Blap! Pan him red ass. Strip him down naked to nothing. Because he thought that he was going to go there and say all these things. And the Prime Minister was going to come out one, come address him. Oh no. You make it stay like fine wine. They'll pop the cork. It's a classic movie. This is Shawshank Redemption. This is Wizard of Oz. This is it. Yeah? This is classic and brilliant. When you come out and talk about illicit sex, brap! There you go. Take that lick. Then come out and talk about illicit ear. Pop on him red ass again. Drop him pants. From the moment Mr. Oley start, him pants drop I'm ankle. And he never get to put it down back again. Never get a chance to put it down back again. Illicit sex. Organizing protests in the United States on foreign soil against the government. Bop, bop, bop! Slap up him red ass. Lies upon lies about the economy. Telling lies about 50% of our country is under sufferation and suffering from, oh Jesus man, pop, 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 pat him red ass. But the most egregious of all the lies that he has told. All of them, the most egregious one, is the one when talk about him a Jamaican. And we know him not a Jamaican. Looks like nobody not gone to history yet. And it is just so, you know. So we'll just deal with him case. And him get him ass boss. And that is that. Now, when Mr. Holness came into the Parliament, here, let us back up a little bit. When Mark Golding went to do his presentation, Mr. Holness was in the Parliament.
Yeah.
So you're not downstairs? Sorry.
Yeah.
History called me, must be something you want to eat. Give him something for me now, because I'm up on my life still. While he was doing his presentation, Mr. Holness went to the Parliament. Classic. And he sat there and he listened to that damn buffoon, listened to this white monkey performing in our Jamaican Parliament like him thinks him belong there. And he never disrespected him, never said a thing, just listened to him. Write a note every now and then, made some facial contortions now and then when him said some lie. But he sat there and he looked at him, never took his eyes off of him, except when him making a note or looking at, responding to something on his phone. We had to go back, go watch that so that we don't tell a lie. He was attentive to what he was saying. And he sat and listened to him. And Mr. Holness came. And when Mr. Holness done lick him down, Mr. Holness decides after, well, we could expose him like a red ass, slap him up a little bit, show everybody him like a red teal. Boom, we could go over his house and boom, and box down PJ. Because him come out in pavilion, and come out and make him trouble. Classic. Mr. Holness come and lick down everybody. And then, how did Mr. Man respond to a classic movie being played out? He sat there. He sat there in his phone. No appreciation for the classic movie. No appreciation for the fact that this young fellow came into politics, Minister of Education, Member of Parliament for West Central St. Andrew, became leader of his party, became Prime Minister, and him coming to the Parliament. You who have been degrading him, telling lie upon him, set up your bloggers and to tell lie upon him wife, and he had the dignity to sit in the Parliament and listen to you. And then when he come, you can't look at him. You can't look at him at all. He couldn't look at him. He couldn't look at Mr. Holness. And I don't let the PNP people them understand the significance of this kind of classic performance by the Prime Minister of the country. And the unclassic, uncouth, dirty behavior of them leader, the white man. I don't know if them understand it. Him alone, kind people them run left him. Everybody run left him. Like them figure, or like them heard, or like some thing in the universe whisper to them, yeah, Mr. Holness, I come lick him down to them. Mr. Holness, I come with one pan with one belt tonight, I soak in the water, for strip him naked and beat him for them red ass. They heard, they probably heard. So they stayed away. Nobody came. Left him alone naked, which is unheard of in our parliamentary system of budget debate. The Prime Minister speak, and the whole of the guy left him. Last live we did, we tell us about the love Mark. But then we know that Mark don't love himself. So the Prime Minister beat him, slap him up, discipline him. to speak ill about the next man's wife. I never said nothing about your wife. Bop! We hope they would just respond to put my parents' name in a report for. What wrong with you know? Bop! Bop, bop! Illicit sex, bop! What's wrong with you? In our parliament chatting crap. I listen to you. I know you don't want to listen to me. Talk down, lick down, box down, all kind of down. But the most down. Now the most serious part of this is that the leader of the opposition, one, he never have the backative, and two, he never have the mental strength to sit down and take it like a man. Never have the mental strength, never have the mental capability, never have the controlling impulses. Weak. He have no impulse control. He couldn't sit down there and take it like a man. He couldn't even debate it. He couldn't get up. You say, all that foolishness when pulled today with Miss Favour. He couldn't even get up and do a point of order. My God in heaven. My God in heaven. He couldn't even get up and make a point of order. But Miss Favour, him have strength for you. Watch me and him tomorrow. Miss Favour, him have strength for get up and talk about point of order, point of order. And when Delroy Chuck said point, but Delroy Chuck, he becoming very rude. Point of order. Point of order. You couldn't sit down and take it like a man. Like a big man. What kind of man are you? You sit in our parliament illegitimately, illegally, boast of yourself, make up nice, go out with all kind of things, and then the man come to answer you, and you couldn't sit like a man and take it. And is him who want to lead country? No, really. Him who want to lead who? Which country who want him to lead? Because if him couldn't sit down and take it like a man from his wholeness, when Marco Rubio come, him can't take it from Marco Rubio? Can he take it from Keir Starmer? Could he take it from Donald Trump? Could he take it from the next man who took over Canada? Could he take it from Claudia down in Mexico? Who could he take it from? If him couldn't sit down after him spent 3 years chatting crap about the man and his wife and his government, and now him get up and then him go in a parliament and the man get an opportunity to answer him, and him never even fathom in his head that the man will come and answer him indirectly about all the crap that him pull. He never even get an understanding of that and prepare himself for it. Mentally weak, impulse weak, strength of character missing. The man couldn't sit down there and take it like a man. Try and imagine on the PNP people watching. Try and imagine how he sat there and look straight at Mr. Holness every time he speak and take it like a man. Try and imagine the conversation we'll be having today. Because we couldn't do no better. We'd have said, boy, well, at least him sit down and take it like a man. Mr. Holness lick him down, but him take it. He sat there and he took it. Couldn't take it. And they want to bring him back today to come see if him can fizzle. Favour, and Miss Favour totally unshelved him, unraveled him, made him look like a rat that is caught by one of them thing. Gary Mouse, I said these little things to catch a mouse them. And them seem to get a big thing out that is here when them catch a mouse, a mice and the thing. And the sushi come out with it, and the Francine and whatever laugh. See the Francine, see me, we catch him. They might celebrate that they catch a little mice. Never cease to amaze me. And he couldn't take it. Favour unravel him today. Wonderful to see what we see. Because we know how to refuse to see certain things. But come on, we don't got to see this. This can't miss that the man is mentally, emotionally, impulsivity is low, that the man don't know nothing, that the man weak, that him can't even him look fight. The fight come to him and him run. Him run and hide. And him gonna want to lead country? And then he could have head or something. Lead which country? Not this one. My member of parliament, Mr. Andrew Wallace. Oh no, you don't drink, but when next you come in a juice, I buy you ice cream. You can't say no, you just tell me what flavor you like and I buy you a cone. When you come, I buy you a $700 cone. When you come to Juice Land. Just to tell you that. We see you. You have grown. It was a classic. It was good. It will remain a classic. It was long too. Long like Gone with the Wind. Long like The Godfather. Long. I mean, it was long. But classics are long. Wizard of Oz long. Sound of Music is long. I mean, and we knew it was going to be a classic. From the first line, we knew that Sound of Music was going to be a classic. From Julia Andrews get up with that piece of something around and start swinging about the hills come alive with the Sound of Music. We knew it was going to be a classic. We know. So there you have it. It's a classic. It was a very good presentation by the Prime Minister of the country. And he addressed everything that he needed to. Not only with the theatrics and the dramatics, but he presented the facts. And he laid out to the country. And he presented the program. And man don't have nothing to push back on. And him couldn't take the lick them. And him run and hide. And him come back and try to see if him can beat up Miss Favour. Because Miss Favour is a woman who look wonderful today. Love the clothes. Love the black and white. Well, the parliament is getting, the parliament is moving, getting there. But Favour, in her very quiet way, kind of unshelved him. Rattle him up. Shake him up. Nasty him up a little bit. In mental state, not altogether there. One final thing I want to talk about tonight, and I want to labor assemblies, because it's always matter about these final things, because we tend to not pay attention to some serious matters. And while all of this is good, and the country is in a good mood, and everybody is glad that Prime Minister made a wonderful presentation, and Mark Golding get beaten by him red behind, and we saw him red behind, and we saw him red like a tealy when him pants drop, and we we see all of that. So we know now there's always the argument that I have to leave with all the while. And that is, with all of that, does that mean anything? All of that is good. It's good for the base, it's good for the country, it's good for the talking points, it's all good. But there still is the work that needs to be done. And people have to understand. There is an incumbency curse that has taken root in the world since 2024. Harvard did a study that said that since COVID, 75% of the incumbents have been removed from office. I want you to pay attention to this. And it doesn't matter, according to Larry Sabato, it don't really matter that voters regret it afterwards, which most of them did, but it don't matter because you already lose. They did it. And the voters did it to appease their own economic anxieties. They did it to appease their feeling of wealth inequities. Wealth inequalities. And so in 2024, a number of incumbents lost office. South Africa, France, where Macron could only form a government because a number of small left-wing progressive parties pick up some seats and then come together, and that's how Macron was able to form back a government, because in party lose. India, Senegal, Bangladesh, all lost incumbents in 2024. It was a historical loss for South Africa, Japan, Botswana. Why? Because in those countries, their leaders dominated the domestic politics in the country. Their popularity was pretty good, not high, but pretty good. But they lost anyway. That curse, and England and America, of course, was included in that. That curse is carried forward into 2025. There are a number of elections coming up in Belize and Curacao and Trinidad, Cayman Islands, Philippines, Romania. A whole of elections coming up this year where incumbents are in danger. But one places where an incumbent lost just the other day, and I'm trying to analyze it, is Greenland. Now, Greenland, most Jamaicans heard about Greenland because Trump bring up Greenland and it become a big thing. And Greenland is a small place. I mean, Greenland, the population of Greenland is less than 100,000 people, I think. Less than 100,000 people. If it is probably a little over, I still think it's less than 100. Now, the man you could call, let us call him Prime Minister. I don't let him call him the Premier or whatever them call him. But let's call him Prime Minister. The Prime Minister of Greenland, the incumbent, it is not a left-wing, it is not a left-wing cuckoo who doing all kind of crap. Greenland don't have much needs, and their political leaders tend to meet all their needs. Historically, Greenland have no political issues until Mr. Trump said, "Want Greenland." The incumbent lost the other day. He lost. And it's not like he did a plan to sell Greenland to Trump. He was one of the loudest critics against selling Greenland and big nasty enough Trump about Greenland, and Trump must have sit down about that Greenland is an independent. Why now with all the usual stuff that all of them doing? But he lost. He lost to a guy who said if Trump come down to Greenland, but Trump said Vance's wife gone on to Greenland, I think. But him lost to a man who said if Trump come down to Greenland, he must bring the whole American army with him. Because no, they don't want him down there. Not even them offer them anything. And the incumbent Prime Minister, we are calling him, of Greenland, lost. He wasn't unpopular. Less than 100 people down there by their neighbor. Them know them wanted her. So I kept thinking, what could possibly make them want to change him? It's not like this man was coming up with anything great. It's not like this man was going to say, okay, I'm going to make it that Greenland have summers now and we're going to have sunshine and no ice for 6 months. He never come up with that. He never said, we're going to stop the man them from coming there, come kill off our whales and take our resources and rain. He never said nothing like that. He was a campaign. Don't promise them nothing. They never need the promise. Greenland people, they don't need the promise. But they voted him out. Greenland is in good shape economically. They're cool. They're very, you could call them country people. But they voted him out. They voted him out. The two people that survive incumbency was this woman down in Mexico. Well, she was not an incumbent, but she took over a party. And the man who had the party before and the presidency before him helped her, and they won back up. She survived that. And then there's Fine and Gail down in Ireland. Them survived that too. But they are the only two that survived the whole incumbency curse. It's not a fallacy. It's not a imagination. It's a real thing. That And the wind tend to keep blowing a particular way when it start blow a particular way. We don't know what will happen. All of these people lost. These list of countries, Japan, Botswana, South Africa, Bangladesh, all of them lost against positive economic performance. They lost against effective leadership and transition strategies. They lost against maintaining voter confidence. I'm saying to you that the Pew Research also said that in 2024, more voters have gone to the polls more than any other time in history. So there is something that is driving voters to the polls. And I tell you again, voters behave the same way across the world. There's no difference. Some places them have individual issues and all of that, you know. America, we don't know what America have issues. America have totally flipped the script, and we don't know what is it now. I mean, it's going to take us years to figure out what is it that voters do now. More people are coming out to vote, according to the Pew Research. Worldwide, it's a worldwide research. And if that is the case, when more people come to vote, incumbency problem. So yeah, this look good from His Holiness and him team. Look at what you guys did just the other day when I changed out candidates. It's not a done deal. That's what I'm telling you. It's not a done deal. And voters are fickle against a backdrop of positive economic news. But if those positive economic news are not felt by those who don't want to hear about the positive as well, so what about me? Now what are you going to do? The danger still lurks in all of that. And there's nothing that we can do or say about it except that I don't want no white British man to lead me. So nothing to work cut out for me. And that is all there is to that. Everybody good? I don't think there's anything else. Alright, I'm going to say I must stop, lock off so quick and take some notes. I don't know what I talk about. So let me just look. I'm looking. Blessings, blessings to you all too. Blessings to the private. Yes, sir. All right. Ooh. All right, then. Henry Kissinger was the best secretary. Henry Kissinger, really? Where did you get that foolishness from? Henry Kissinger did some damage to this world, you know, man. All right. All right. Yes, we're still going out on our resistance tour. We want to go to about the 3rd or so of April. We're still seeking those of you who want to contribute. Please, many of you don't want to contribute, but you don't contribute yet. So do it now. Get in touch with Michelle and send out that contribution. All right, so thank you all so very much for joining me and staying with me and listening to me chat crap. God bless you all. Stay safe, everybody, and do keep the children safe. Good night, all.